What's up, family? It's Roney Polynice here. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the Raleigh City versus the Raleigh Suburbs. Now, if you're new to me and this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on anything. But you also must not forget that I am a licensed realtor here. So if you need any assistance with your relocation needs, don't hesitate to reach out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And the first thing I want to discuss is living in Raleigh in general, not specifically separating the city and the suburbs at all. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because I think a lot of times a lot of individuals believe that you have to live in the city to enjoy the city. But that is far from the case here in Raleigh. In fact, I have a lot of individuals I speak to on the regular. They prefer to be out of the city rather than inside. And that's, yes, you do lose some of that accessibility to the sporting events that happen, the music festivals, or even the foodies, the large amount of food scenery that's down there already. However, but if you don't mind a travel a few minutes, well, I shouldn't say a few minutes, depending on where you are, let's just say 15 minutes to play it safe. If you don't mind a 15-minute drive into the downtown area or the real city life of Raleigh, you will be just fine. But speaking of the commute, how is it? I've spoken about this before, so I guess I'll just do it again. It's not the best, I'm being quite frank with you. So if you're thinking about living outside the city limits of Raleigh, just prepare yourself for a little bit of pain, meaning traffic, simply because the infrastructure is just not where it should be. It could be. Everything is currently getting worked on, which I could see in the future, of course, it's going to be where it should be, or where we all would like it to be. But for the time being, for right now, what everybody's doing and dealing with is just astronomical amounts of traffic everywhere, despite where you are, honestly. And be sure to subscribe so you know exactly what's going on in the Raleigh area, so your relocation needs become a lot more easier. There is a ton of more room for growth. I mean, when you really look at it, there is literally new construction going on everywhere, from even just your typical regular home to luxury homes. I mean, new builds from high rises, traffic, I mean the roads being done, it's everywhere. When you're here and you're actually driving, you're gonna see it, you're gonna be like, what in the world is going on here? So this place that's happening, what's really in Raleigh now, I honestly could say within the next 5 to 10 years it won't look the same. So be ready for that, especially if you're already here. Just get ready for the adapt of the change, and if you're not here already, just keep up to date with what's going on here. And if you have any specific questions, you know, that number that is popping up right there, make sure to call, make sure to give me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market. Now, why do people actually even consider moving to the downtown area? I mean, I hear it all the time: accessibility to everything. And you can't fault them, because that's exactly what you're gonna get when you're going to that downtown area. But a lot of people just really don't want to be in that downtown area because they lose out on land. You lose out on, you know, your home being a little bit relatively new, especially depending on if you're in that downtown area. Most of the homes don't look new. I will just be honest with you guys. It's a lot of tear downs going on, at least in the downtown area. So you're not gonna have a brand spanking new home. Probably won't have that much space, simply because, of course, the homes are going to be older there. And then we can't forget the cost of everything. I mean, if you're in the Raleigh city limits, you're always going to pay a premium in comparison to anybody else that is going to the suburbs. Depending on what suburb, because if you go to Cary, Apex, Mooresville, that's another conversation for a whole nother day. And the reason why I say that is because I'll share a personal story so you guys can truly understand the difference between what I just mentioned and the Raleigh city and the suburbs. Because being in that Raleigh, the downtown area, let's start there, you're gonna compromise something. One thing off the back that I think of that you're going to compromise, and something that I had to compromise, is the peace of quiet. I mean, you're just truly not gonna get it. Not to say it's crazy, I mean, nothing like in New York, because again, it's just not that much traffic and activity. But you are for sure going to hear your ambulance, you're for sure going to hear your fire trucks and your police, and sometimes periodically you'll even hear people in the middle of the night just kind of doing their thing, being loud, obnoxious, whatever the case may be. Because again, that's where all the activity is, that's where a lot of people are going out to enjoy themselves. So you are going to compromise that. Now, I definitely want to make you aware of that, because again, now that I mention it, downtown area may be a big question mark for you. But that's for you to go ahead and make that decision to tell. I'm just here to share that information so you have it readily available to you. If you don't want that area, you can always go to those suburbs that's all around there that don't have nearly as much activity and things going on to kind of seek for that maybe the peace of quiet that you're looking for. One area that I can vouch for and say it might be a little bit more of a feel if you're looking for kind of a little bit more settle of an environment is that North Raleigh, which I'll go ahead and tag up there that you guys can go ahead and watch that video. But go ahead and make sure to pause this video and write down the title so you can go ahead and watch it once this video is all done. Because one thing that I believe that you'll get out of going to the suburbs or even going to the subdivisions, you're gonna get that sense of community. There's no doubt about it. I mean, yes, you can be in the downtown living area, the city life, kind of enjoying it. Yes, you'll be able to know your neighbors, but I think it's an entirely different environment when you can actually go to maybe the community pool that's there, or go to the tennis courts, or the pickleball or racquetball, whatever you really desire to play. And that's what a lot of the subdivisions offer. They give you all these different amenities so that you can take advantage of it, which kind of makes the HOA beneficial and helpful and reasonable. But if you're going to a community that doesn't do that, then that's another conversation for another day. But anywho, yes, you'll have those amenities that you can take advantage of, which is going to bring the community together, which you can then bond and kind of get to know your neighbors or the people that are living in that community. But let's bring it back to the city life, because of course you guys all want things to do. Just go to Glenwood if you really want a lot to do and a lot of options. However, it's for the younger crowd, I will say. If you need to go buck wild, you need to go, feel young again, that's the place you're going to want to go. Otherwise, another place you can go is, of course, the downtown, which is a little bit more sophisticated, or Person Street. So here on Person Street, you'll have a few things, not too much, like a long strip of a few things, a few restaurants and things like that to do. Mainly for the individuals that live here, I will say, because there's walking distance within some individuals that do live in these I would say they're condos, apartments, all right here next to me. But if you're a person, like I mentioned, that needs to go buck wild, just head over to Glenwood. Or you can even go down to the downtown area, which is Fayetteville Street, and yeah, you'll thank me later. Not only were you able to see, but you were also able to hear about the city living versus the suburban living. And I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts? What are you considering? Are you considering the city living or suburban living? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But you guys know one thing, just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, I am a licensed realtor here. So that number that is popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing, I got your back in this market.